Ever wished you could just like teleport to some incredible destination, somewhere really off the beaten path? Well, today we're diving into how Uganda is using not just pretty pictures, but influencers as a key part of their tourism strategy.
Yeah, it's this really cool fusion of tech and travel. We've got this article, How is Uganda Tourism Booming? See how influencers are helping showcase the Pearl of Africa as a leading global travel destination. And it looks at how Uganda is really using social media to change how people see the country and attract tourists.
So it's more than just like posting a selfie with a giraffe, right? There's some strategy involved here.
Oh, for sure. Uganda's Ministry of Foreign Affairs is being super deliberate about this. They put together a fam trip, which is basically a tour to, show people what a destination is all about. And they invited French and Spanish influencers, and get this, they have a combined following of 2 million.
2 million? Wow. It's like having a whole stadium of people all looking at their phones, seeing all the amazing things Uganda has to offer. But okay, before we get to the trip, what makes Uganda stand out as a place people would want to travel to in the first place?
Well, the article talks about a few things. First, Uganda's climate is really amazing. It's moderate year-round, so no scorching heat or freezing cold. That's a big plus for people thinking about traveling there.
That's true. It would make planning a trip so much easier. You wouldn't have to worry about the rainy season or pack a million different clothes for all kinds of weather. But what about beyond the weather? What else is unique about Uganda?
The cultural diversity is a huge draw. The article talks about this really vibrant mix of traditions and lifestyles, and they all exist so well together. It feels authentic, which travelers who want more than just a, typical vacation really like.
I see. So it's more about experiencing a place deeply, like really connecting with the culture. I can see why that would appeal to travelers. But let's get back to that fam trip. How did they show off this unique side of Uganda to the influencers?
They planned this really well-rounded itinerary. They went from Kampala, the capital, which is super bustling, to the peaceful landscape of Nakasongola. They even got to track endangered rhinos. Plus, they learned traditional milking practices and got to enjoy the local food, stuff you just won't find in, a regular travel brochure,
Tracking rhinos. That's amazing. That's an experience that would stay with you for sure. And I bet they got some incredible photos.
Absolutely. And that's a huge part of this whole strategy. They wanted the influencers to share their experiences on social media. All that beauty, culture, adventure, showing it off to that massive online audience.
It's like, opening a window into Uganda for people who maybe never even thought about going there before. And those images, those stories, they really stick with people. It's not just a quick ad you forget about. It's a lasting record of everything Uganda has to offer.
Exactly. That's what the article calls the digital legacy. Every photo, every video, all those stories shared online, they're changing how people see Uganda, maybe even years down the road. And it's not just about getting any tourists. It's about the right kind of tourists, the ones who are interested in sustainable travel and cultural immersion and making a real positive impact.
Yeah, you're so right. It's about quality, not just quantity.
Yeah.
How does this influencer strategy play into that?
Well, by showcasing things like ecotourism activities, local traditions, community-based initiatives, they're really appealing to travelers who are looking for something more, something beyond just a typical vacation.
I see. So they're not just sightseeing. They're really getting a deeper understanding of the place, connecting with the people, and hopefully, leaving a good impact.
Yeah, exactly. And there's another thing, too. The article talks about how Uganda is encouraging its own young people to become entrepreneurs in tourism, to use their voices and experiences to show off their country.
That's so cool. It's not just bringing in outside perspectives. It's giving the locals a chance to shape how people see their own country. So it's a win-win, right?
Yeah.
Creating opportunities for young people while also making sure that tourism benefits the whole community.
Exactly. And this model, it's not just for Uganda either. Other countries can definitely learn from this and adapt it to what makes them unique.
Yeah, I can see this being huge for those destinations that aren't as well known, especially now when everyone's competing for attention online.
It really shows how technology is changing the tourism industry, Think about it. Virtual reality tours, personalized recommendations, social media connecting travelers with local guides. It's like a whole new world.
It's pretty exciting, right? Travel is becoming more accessible and personalized than ever. And with approaches like Uganda's, it's also becoming more about real connection and cultural exchange.
For sure. It's not just about checking off destinations on your bucket list anymore. It's about having experiences that mean something and making memories that last.
This whole conversation has got me thinking beyond the amazing scenery and the rhinos and everything. What really stands out is that personal touch, that warmth and hospitality that Uganda is known for.
Oh, yeah. The article even mentions this guy from an international creative agency, and he was blown away by how open and friendly everyone was in Uganda.
Yeah, it's those human connections that make a trip truly unforgettable. And it sounds like Uganda is great at creating that welcoming atmosphere.
And get this, there's this potential for some really cool collaborations between Uganda and Europe in the future, especially with food. The article talks about events that could bring chefs from both regions together to create these fusion cuisine experiences.
Wow, that's such a cool idea. Imagine all those amazing flavors, the mix of different culinary traditions. I bet that would be a big draw for people who love to try new foods.
It's like using food as a way to connect people and cultures. And for those of us who love to explore the world through food, this kind of collaboration is super exciting.
It sounds like Uganda is thinking way outside the box when it comes to tourism. But it's not just about attracting visitors. It's about giving their own people a chance to shine.
Exactly. The article really emphasizes this call to action, encouraging young Ugandans to take advantage of all the opportunities that come with a growing tourism industry. They're being encouraged to become entrepreneurs, to use their skills and creativity to show the world how beautiful their home is.
It's about giving them control over their own story, helping them build a future for themselves and their communities. That's inspiring.
It's about making tourism sustainable so it benefits both the visitors and the people who live there. It's about moving past that old transactional way of traveling and creating real connection and respect.
And I think that message really resonates with travelers today. People are looking for authentic experiences that go beyond the surface level. It's like this whole approach is a great example of how technology can really help even things out, especially for destinations that, might not have those huge marketing budgets like the big names do.
That's a really good point. In the past, getting the word out about a place like Uganda probably meant relying on traditional media or, expensive ad campaigns. But now with social media and influencers, it's a much cheaper and easier way to reach a global audience.
And it's not just about how many people you can reach, right? It's about how authentic and believable the influencers are. People are way more likely to trust someone they follow online than just some random tourism ad.
Definitely. It's almost like getting travel advice from a friend, And those personal stories, the cool pictures, they really stay with you. They make you want to add that destination to your travel list.
And the best part is that content stays out there. It's not a one-time thing. It becomes part of how Uganda is seen online, and that can shape how people think about it and inspire them to travel there for years to come.
It's like a long-term investment, building a brand, a reputation, a sense of excitement, and it's something that any country can do no matter how big or small their budget is.
So what's the big takeaway here? What can other places learn from what Uganda is doing?
I think it shows how important it is to be creative and innovative in the tourism world today. You have to think outside the box, use new technologies, and find real, genuine ways to connect with people who might want to travel there.
And it's about understanding that travelers these days, they want more than just a vacation. They want something meaningful, something that connects them with the local culture, something that makes a positive difference.
Uganda is a great example of how to do all of that. By using influencers, they're showing off their country's beauty and diversity, but they're also giving their own people a chance to thrive and creating a sustainable future for tourism.
It's really inspiring to see how they're using tech to change the game in tourism. So whether you're a seasoned traveler or just starting to explore, we hope this deep dive got you thinking and maybe even inspired you a bit.
Don't forget, there's a whole world out there waiting to be discovered. So keep exploring, stay curious, keep an open mind. You never know what amazing places you'll find.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, happy travels.